Good
Good
morning,
morning.
guys.
Hello.
Oh my word. Okay, so sorry about that. We're here. Um, Crystal, if you want to give us a quick introduction, I'll put a little thing that says we are now live.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Kelly couldn't hear me, so we spent 9 minutes trying to figure it out, and I'm just going to put it out there. Kelly didn't have her speakers turned up. So I'm like tearing this computer apart trying to figure out what's going on. And anyway.
Okay, so like my speaker itself was turned up, like it's a little turning volume thing, but on my computer it was muted. I'm like, dude, I don't hear you. Anyway, so it's handled. I'm sorry. It's my fault, and I'm blaming Crystal like the whole time. So,
What's new? Anyway, no big deal. It's Kelly and Crystal, and we haven't seen you guys, or we haven't had a hangout in, I don't know, like 6 weeks probably. I think it was November. It's been a while. It's been far too long, and I know that you guys wanted, many of you were just waiting, and we kept recycling old content and getting you guys to watch all of that stuff again. And I mean, all of that, so much of that stuff is still good quality information that can always be applied no matter where you are in your blogging journey. But yes, it's time for a new hangout. We are trying really hard to minimize these hangouts down to about 30 minutes a piece, because we know that it's hard for you guys to sit and listen for an hour. So anyway, we're going to do the best we can to do that today. So every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Time for about 85 weeks, Kelly and I have come to you guys with a new Learn to Blog Hangout. You can visit our website at learntoblog.hangouts.com, and there is a playlist there if you click the New Start Here button that gives you all of the hangouts that we've done. I am Crystal VanTassel, Dallas Mom Blogger at crystalandcomp.com. Kelly started mentoring me years ago. My site's almost 7 or 8 years old now. We developed a friendship and just grew our blogs off of each other, and now we help each other grow all the time, and we help you guys grow. And that's what the premise of all of this is about. So, Kelly, you want to introduce yourself, and we'll get going with getting goals set for 2015.
So I'm Kelly, and I blog at threeboysandadog.com. I blog about homeschooling and homemaking tips for busy folks. I've been blogging since November 2006. So this is my 9th year. Crazy to me. My 9th year. I'm in my 9th year. Isn't that insane? Anyway. It's crazy.
That's a long time.
It really is. So we've been doing, as Crystal said, these hangouts for a long time. We've got a lot of other stuff going. We do classes now. Super popular. We have a VIP forum that has just, I don't even remember, but hundreds, if not thousands, of posts and things on it. Like 400 members, I think, in there now. It's only a couple months old. Lots going on, in addition to our own sites. I'm moving, have a new house that I've been working on for 3 months now, so we can get moved into it. So, that's the Hangouts have just kind of been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, but we're here. It's one of our goals to make sure that we're always here, and that's what we're talking about this week. We're talking about goals. And, over on the VIP forum, which is learntobloghangouts.com/VIP, we have a whole little goal thing going on where everybody's going in and writing what their goals are for 2015, accountability, cheerleading for each other, giving you tips and tricks to how to reach those goals. But one thing that I'm finding to be quite consistent, not just in the VIP forum, but in our Facebook group as well, and then just on the internet in general for other people writing out their goals, is that so many people are just doing, oh, I want to increase my traffic. Okay. What does that mean? So if you have one more page view today, you've met your goal. Ta-da! Mark it off the list and move on. You have to have specific goals. So we're going to talk about that a little more. Crystal, you want to kind of go into that?
Well, excuse me, guys. I have a massive head cold or whatever, I guess, apparently. So, yeah, I mean, for weeks, everybody's been talking about their goals. I love what we're doing over on the forum where we're sharing brainstorming ideas. We have a whole thread dedicated to goals, and people are coming in and sharing their goals, and Kelly and I are being transparent and sharing our goals. And Kelly has this crazy goal of 5 million page views for the year, which is totally doable, and I can't wait to see it happen. And as people are sharing their things and we're sharing our things and we're sharing what's working and what's not working, and or that is the goal, to do that. If I'm in the middle of working on a goal and I think, oh, I need to add this to it, I go in and I modify my thread and what it says. We want to be transparent and share with you guys what we're doing and what's working. And in turn, as people are sharing their things, then we come in and say, hey, have you thought about this? Let us help you brainstorm to make it to your goal. And it's like Kelly said, just saying I want to grow is not, you need a plan of action. This is a business that you're running. And, you know, the big companies that are out there, the Fortune 500 companies, the companies that are making Forbes magazine, they're not doing any of this by accident, and it's all deliberate work. And last night, Kelly and I are talking, and she's like, Crystal, I've got all of these deliberate plans. I'm working on X, Y, and Z, and that's what we have to have. And so, you know, one thing along this period of time, where for the last year, a little over a year, we've offered classes as well for people, and you know, we've gotten to know a lot of our students, and over time they have shared stuff with us, and one student recently said, you know, I've done this for a week and I'm just not seeing the results that I thought I would see. It's so important for us to remember that it's not what we do. Kelly and I went into this last night when we were talking and planning for this. What we're doing right now is not what's going to bring us the results this very minute, okay? The content I write today is not, I'm not writing that content to bring me traffic this minute today. It could bring me some traffic, but I'm writing content today that's going to bring me traffic for the longevity of my site, for this time next year, or this time in 15 years, because I want my site to still be around in 15 years. You have to really, I want you in 2015 to really think about your blog differently, and think about the long-term work that you're doing now that's paving the way for your site for all the years to come. Kelly, is there anything that you want to, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I want to talk about the whole weight loss thing. Okay, so this is one thing that Crystal and I talked about last night. Think about it. The 9, okay, that's being nice. The 12 Hershey Kisses and 20-ounce icy that I drank last night is not what caused me to gain 45 pounds over 2014. It's the 12 Hershey Kisses and 20-ounce icy that I ate pretty much every single day in 2014 that's caused me to gain 45 pounds. So if I spend a week not eating those kisses and not drinking those ices, I'm not going to lose 45 pounds. It's the same way with blogging. Just because you write a really awesome post and share it on all the linkies and share it on all the Pinterest things every single day for a week, you're not going to double your traffic. It's not going to happen. You have to do it consistently, week after week after week, and it'll slowly start to grow unless you're just really lucky and you hit something massive. But if you hit something massive, it's still going to die back off. It's not going to stay that. That's not going to be your average. That's going to be your viral traffic. Unless you continue to crank out those posts, continue to link up to those linkies, continue to guest post, continue to share on Twitter and Pinterest and Facebook and Google Plus and all the different places over and over and over.
Right. You know, back in the day, years ago, I worked outside of the home, and there was a lady that had this sign on her door, and I have never forgotten it, ever. And it said, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten. And it's so true, and I'm sure she didn't make that up. I'm sure some amazing genius person is the one that originally said it, although they weren't credited on the thing that was on her door. But my point is, you know, if we say to you, take our class and we will, you know, it will change the way that you blog, and we're going to teach you how to create an SEO plan, we're going to teach you all of these things. If you don't implement what is shared, how will you see results, right? And it's the same thing. You have to be doing deliberate work. You have to have a plan. It can't just be, halfway through the year, we're in June, and we're like, oh my goodness, I'm not reaching my goals. It's more than just saying this is my goal out loud. I see people over and over again who say, I am ready to make money blogging. And they think that they just need to say that out loud and that's enough. I don't really know that everybody is really ready to do that. There is so much that goes into this. And it's like, Kelly, the people that say to us, but how do you get it done every day? It's a deliberate choice every day to make time for this business, for this website. It's just like, how do I get kids homeschooled, or how do we feed them lunch, or how do I get dinner done? It's a deliberate choice that you do. What?
How do I wake up in the morning? How do I go to bed at night?
Right. It's a deliberate choice that you have to make. Right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just hit my toes. Okay, so let's back up then. So the very first thing, this is an actionable task. Get back to your computer if you're running on the treadmill. Good for you, but get back to the computer, grab your notebook, grab a spreadsheet, grab something. This is number one actionable task. Come up with a goal, a main overall goal. What is your goal for your blog for 2015? My goal for my blog is to reach 5 million page views by the end of the year. That's my goal. Now, how I reach that goal is what's going to happen next. But seriously, go look at your analytics. So how I came up with my goal. I came up with my goal by looking at my analytics, which last year my goal was to reach 2.5 million page views, and I did it by like October. So I decided, okay, I want to double that. So my goal this year is 5 million page views. Write it down, put sticky notes everywhere, whatever you need to do on your laptop, on your computer, on your notebook, on your calendar, write it down. What is your main overall goal? What can you do? Once you come up with that, and specific, not just grow, I want to grow. You have to be specific, whether it's page views or whether it's money or whether it's social media followers. What is your main goal? Write it down. I would love to hear from you guys, and if you want to write it in the Hangout thing and the little questions, that's great if you already know. But I want to know what it is. Crystal?
One of my main goals for 2015, I have quite a few of them, but my main goal, and I knew this in October, that this is what I wanted to work on. I know that the place that my site is in, what is lacking is photography. I have got to up my game. When I look at the people that we mentored 2 years ago who are now getting, 1 million plus page views a month, you know what the difference is? It's our photographer. It's my photography in there, or whatever. You know what I mean? I can acknowledge and see what is lacking. And so this year, it has been, for the last 8 weeks, I have been researching. I've ordered books. I have a sister-in-law who does, I have 2 sister-in-laws who do photography. One of them came and spent the day with me, teaching me. I was, for my birthday, I got a new camera. I'm learning to shoot in manual. I'm learning new editing options and different styling options. I am serious about this. In June, I will still be working on my goal. In December of 2015, I will still be working on my goal. The longer you blog, the sooner you realize that it's constant growth. There is always something to learn. We never know it all. This space is ever changing. And my husband always says there's always a better lover, there's always a better fighter. There is always going to be someone who steps into this space that's better than all of us. And that's what pushes us to continue to want to learn more and grow more. And I can tell you hands down, photography is what I am working on this year. It's one of my main things. And in turn, working on that goal it'll trickle down. So from there, it will improve my content. It will improve my page views. It will improve all of my social media communities, because that will be improved content that's being shared there. All of that is just going to domino out. Kelly, is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, so thinking about Crystal's goal. Crystal's goal is to improve her photography. How does she know when she reaches that goal? Because every single day her photography is getting better. So how does she know when she reaches improved photography. So she'll make other goals. Like maybe one is to get her to get 5 pictures, 5 posts approved or whatever on Food Gawker. Maybe one is to get that many on Craft Gawker or whatever that's called. Maybe it's to have it pinned by, some big pin person because they think it's awesome. Whatever it is, she'll have to make small goals leading up to that. Well, one of my small goals leading up to my 5 million is to have a certain number of page views for January. And then a certain number of page views for February once I get to that part. So in order to get that certain number of page views, I have certain things that I need to accomplish. Basically, whatever your goal is, every single working day, whether you work 3 days a week or 7 days a week, every single working day you need to be working towards your goal. Whatever you're doing that day has to be towards your goal. You have to be. And we talk about it with SEO, but you have to be deliberate in what you do. Just randomly doing stuff isn't going to make a difference. And what you do today, as Crystal said earlier, isn't going to make an immediate difference. No matter, I know, we talked about it last night. We are a society of instant gratification, but that's not how life actually works. You don't get pregnant and have the baby the next day.
Yep. I can't tell you how many times I was telling Kelly this last night. I can't tell you how many times we'll have something coming up. Maybe it's my husband's high school reunion, or because it happened then. And then it happened when I went to a blog conference last year. I always have this idea that I want to lose 10 pounds or whatever it is. And then it's Wednesday before the event, and I'm in crisis mode, and my husband's like, there is nothing you can do right now to lose 10 pounds by Friday. Like, we are so instant gratification driven. And you have to understand that every milestone that you meet in the process of this journey of growing your site, we have to celebrate even the small milestones. We have to, because all of that is what accumulates and leads to the end result. No one that has 1 million page views woke up yesterday. It may seem like an overnight success to you, but none of them woke up an overnight. There was so much labor and love that went into that to get to where they are, no matter what it looks like on your end to you. Go ahead, Kelly. What were you going to say?
One thing we were talking about last night was the people that look like they were overnight successes, that have only been blogging for a couple months and they're making, 400, 500, 600, 700,000 page views. But what went into it before? Before their blog went live, where were they? What were they doing? Do they have a history, a background in writing or a background in photography? Have they been in the blogosphere for years and years and years, just never did their own? Have they built relationships with really big influencers on social media channels or whatever? What happened that you don't see? Do they have, an SEO background or a social media background? What is it? So the people that look like overnight successes are not overnight successes. And we do. Mm-hmm. Some people just get lucky. But once the luck runs out, then what happens?
Right. There has to be.
So this is totally off topic, but Brittany says it's a Dave Ramsey quote, but actually it's not, because I looked it up.
So Dave Ramsey took it from somewhere.
Dave Ramsey said it from somewhere. It's a quote by Henry Ford.
Okay. All right.
Which makes sense.
Yep.
So there you go.
So one thing that I want you guys to think about is, no matter what your goal is for your blog, Kelly has said we have to have a plan of action. So, last night you were saying, Kelly, that you want to get back to writing 3 times a day, 3 blog posts a day. Someone who, and I've said this before, I said it last year when we had a hangout about goal setting and whatnot. If you have 5 posts that can be indexed, read, sent to your feed, linked out to other blogs or other blogs linking to you, 5 posts that can be indexed by the search engines, 5 posts that can be on page view, whatever it is. Okay? I have a friend who has 20 posts on a site that can get all of the 20 so she's got 20 posts that can be indexed, linked to, build a page view off of, etc., etc., etc. Which one is set up for better success? The one with the more content. We have all the, we want to grow this community, and we want to work on photography, and we want to do this, we want to do that. At the end of the day, if we do not have content on our blogs, we have nothing. We have nothing for anyone to read. We have nothing for the search engine to index. We have nothing to link to. We have nothing to be hitting a feed to encourage people to come over and see what the latest thing is that we're sharing. It all boils down to content. I have no photography to work on if I don't have content to write, because there's nothing to take a picture for. So we cannot lose focus of, that's what this whole thing is built off of, is our content, our great content. So if you're writing 3 times a week, how could you kick it up and write 4 times a week? Don't go over the top. Don't say, okay, I'm going to start writing 7 days a week. I'm going to go from 3 days to 7 days, because as soon as you fail once, you're going to feel like a failure and you're not going to want to keep going. And I've said, I believe that if you, once you have a taste for success, you want more, you crave more. It's easier to obtain. You're building confidence, you're building momentum. And as soon as you feel like you're failing, you don't want to do it anymore. And failure builds more failure, or it feeds off of each other. So how can you say, because it all boils down to content, what commitment are you willing to make for 2015 with your content? Can you go from a hobby blogger to a full-time blogger? Can you go from, sporadic posts here and there to making the commitment and saying, I'm going to write, instead of 3 days a week, I'm going to write 5 days a week? What are you willing to do? It can be very small bites, but you have to stay committed to it. You have to do it. You don't drive to corporate America every day and get a paycheck to sit there and do nothing. You have a goal that has to be met every single day, every single month, every single year, or you lose your job. Your blog, if you're wanting it to be a business, you have got to run it like a business. It needs your attention every single day. What were you going to say, Kelly?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. And I realize that we're all busy. I mean, come on. I am insanely busy right now. I mean, I'm seriously renovating over a 5,000 square foot home. Insane. I mean, crazy, crazy insane. And it's like 20 minutes away from my house, and there's no internet there. There's not even full power there. My cell phone doesn't pick up enough for me to do any data stuff. I cannot work while I'm there. And there are days where I'm spending 10 to 12 hours a day there, where I used to spend that many hours working. So I totally get it. But I'm still producing new content every single day on my site. Because without new content, I don't get new readers, I don't get more page views. So even though in November was really bad. In addition to the house, I had all the shopping trying to get Christmas done. I had the cleaning here trying to get it ready for Christmas. I had so much going on in addition to the house that I was working on. And my content wasn't up to par. It wasn't my normal type of content. It was content, but it wasn't 3 boys and a dog content. It was just something that I was throwing together to get out there, and it hurt me. I lost over 100,000 page views for the month of November. From the month of October, I lost over 100,000, and November has consistently in the past been my highest month ever. So to have lost over 100,000, and then so December, I said, this is ridiculous. I have to get my content done, and I worked hard every single day in December, every single day, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, trying to get my content, my good content, on my site, and I still went down because I had played around for November and just done whatever, and I still went down again in December. I'm just now getting back up to my average after a month and a half of writing my good content, sharing my good content. Every time you stop, every time you miss your typical schedule, whatever that schedule is, I don't mean if you always write on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, then every Wednesday and every Friday you're having to start over. I mean, whatever your normal schedule is, the instant you miss that, you're starting over. And every single time that you miss it again, it's that much harder to start over.
Right. every time you say, this is too hard, I don't know if this is what I can do, and you take a break, and then it's been 4 weeks and you come on and you say, sorry, I've been missing for a while. We see those posts all the time. Sorry, I've been MIA. You're starting over. That is exactly right. That is exactly the conversation that we had last night, and we see it over and over again with bloggers, and you are making it so much harder on yourself. So much of what happens online in social media communities, in the search engines, just in general, builds off of momentum. And when you lose that momentum, it is like starting over. And that's a very discouraging place to be over and over and over again. So maybe your goal for your blog is not to make money and not to make it a business, but just to get into a healthy writing pattern, healthy writing schedule, and it's just to write 2 days a week or 3 days a week, whatever. Don't let, my goal doesn't need to be your goal, and Kelly's goal doesn't need to be your goal, but you need to know and be confident in what you are going to do this year so that you can continue to grow and you can continue to see results. I want you to think about, right now we are. Have you started promoting your Valentine content? Have you started writing Valentine content? Have you gone into your old Valentine content and made sure that everything is set up properly? Are you using your keywords? Have you set up your landing pages? There's always work that can be done. Don't forget about the housekeeping that needs to be done in your site that will improve your blog. Those improvements that you make, those housekeeping tasks that you do, once you finally get that Valentine landing page created, then that is setting yourself up for success to come. Because now every Valentine's Day, it's going to be easier for your readers to navigate your site and to find your content and to promote your content, to share, etc. So think about those things that need to be done as well on your site. And those are the things that will improve your page views. All of that works off of each other. So don't just think, your goal is not just, I want to grow. You need to have an action plan. What were you going to say, Kelly?
Okay. So your first actionable task is to write down your goal. I mean, we've been 26 minutes in. Okay, so what comes after that? Now you know your goal. What do you need to do? How are you going to reach that? What do you have to do for January? What kind of small bite-sized goal do you need to reach for January to work towards that overall goal for the year? So that's the next thing you need to figure. What needs to happen in January? Do you need to add another post slot to your schedule? Do you need to join 10 awesome group boards on Pinterest this month? Do you need to increase your landing pages so that you've gone from 5 landing pages to 8 landing pages? Do you need to add a new series to work towards a keyword that you're getting traffic? What do you need to do in January to help you reach that goal? Does Crystal need to learn to, I don't know, because photography is not my thing. I'm planning to get that as a goal.
That's an eventual goal, is to create raw images instead of JPEG, But I'm a small bite-sized person. Like, seriously, I want to be able to look back in December of 2015 and compare my December 2014 photography, which I had already started working on my photography then, and I want to see a complete difference. Even in the stuff that I thought was great in December, you know what I mean? Like, there will always be growth. Go ahead, Kelly.
Do you need to, so maybe Crystal's is to update 4 of her popular posts this month with better pictures. I don't know. I mean, think about it. Just doing new pictures from this point on is not going to make a difference. I mean, it is. But to be able to go back to those old ones, that's popular content, but it could be much more popular if it had an awesome picture.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well,
I mean, and that's 1 a week. Is it doable?
It's also acknowledging that, we can utilize stock images too. I just changed out 2 posts. I had a post right before or right after Christmas that is from a couple of years ago that was getting some good momentum, and it was ways to use a leftover ham. And the picture was awful. 2 years ago, the picture was okay, but like we said, it's always evolving. It's always changing. So I went in, and I didn't have any ham on hand to be able to take a ham picture, so I bought a stock image and updated that post and then continued to push it out on social media again. And it is, Kelly, you have got to be looking over your old content, and because the content that I wrote 3 years ago is getting me traction this Valentine's Day. The Valentine content that I wrote then, and we have to always keep that stuff as current looking, as pristine looking, because our competition is many steps ahead of us. And I want my content seen. I mean, it's never ending. The day that you stop growing is the day that your blog does this, because there's always growth that has to happen.
So step one, yeah. So step one, write down your main goal. Step two, come up with 3, no more than 3. 3, okay, sorry. This is step 2 right here. Stop it, Crystal.
You're step 2? Well, okay, go ahead.
Step 2. I'm on step 2. Step 2 is to come up with 3 or no more than 3 goals for January, or tasks for January. If they're goals, then you need to come up with tasks to reach those goals for January. That's your job. That's what you have to do. And then you have to start doing them. If Pinterest is more than 40% of your traffic, you have a problem. You need to get other traffic from elsewhere. So what do you need to work on? Do you need to work on search engine traffic? So maybe your goal is to make enough money in January to take an SEO class.
Maybe so. That would be really smart. We have a class that's starting next Monday. The 12th. Good segue, Kelly. Great job.
Okay. So we are 30 minutes in. We really want to keep them to 30 minutes. So if you have any questions, throw them in there. We can always continue the conversation over on the Learn to Blog VIP forum. We have a brand new section that's just for listing out your goals, and Crystal and I go in and check them, and we ask questions about how you're going to reach it and give you some tips and ideas to help you reach those goals and help you break it down a little bit more. We have our own goals in there, and we constantly are updating when we come up with something new that we want to try or whatever to help us reach our goals. We're constantly updating that. As Crystal said, we have a Learn to Blog class starting Monday. Yep. We've had people have, well over 100% increase in search engine traffic after taking our class. I don't think we've had anybody that implemented our stuff not see an increase in their search engine traffic. Have we?
Absolutely not, that I'm aware of at all. I love to keep in touch with people from our previous class. Actually, from our previous classes. Actually, I spend way too much time on Facebook chatting with people because I want to know. I'll just randomly message you and say, tell me how many landing pages you have done. Tell me exactly how much your referral engine or your search engine referral traffic increased. Like, I want to know. I want to know the results that they're seeing. And if they're not seeing results, then I help dissect and say, okay, why don't we have these other 2 landing pages set up yet? If you are struggling with landing pages, with SEO, with finding the right keywords, using the right keywords, getting your blog post created in a way where the search engine understands what it is that you're writing about, knowing how to index the content for you, if you're struggling with any of that, needing a plan, if you're wanting to grow page views at all in 2015, our class is definitely going to help you do that. All you have to do is implement exactly what we tell you to do. I mean, we spoon feed it to you. I'm going to share a link for anyone who is interested. We have a testimonial area too where you can read about bloggers that had 500,000 page views that have taken the class and continued to grow. So it really is a great thing. I'm going to share it right now for anyone who's interested. I'll share the link where you can go.
Mitzi
Go ahead, Kelly.
Mitzi and Cassie both said that they're one of their goals is updating old posts. But how are you going to do it? You need specific goals. So be very specific. For January, I'm going to update 2 old posts.
Yep. Sorry. My Facebook messages are always going off. So yeah, I really encourage you guys, if you are not over on the forum, totally, we are hardcore about making our goals this year. And I love this thread that we have where people are really transparently sharing. Like Kelly said, I'm excited to help you guys and for you to cheer me on too and to help me. I also want you guys to find a buddy this year. If you're not in a tribe, and even if you are in a larger tribe, find your buddy. Because even though we've been doing this for forever, Kelly and I will call each other and say, look at my screen. What am I not seeing? What am I supposed to do with this data, or this data, whatever you call it? What am I missing here? What are your what?
Suggestions. I mean,
right, exactly.
We need that person to bounce things off of. And I mean, I can bounce things off of my husband. I really can. But he doesn't get it. He's not in the blogging world. He's not at the level that I am. And it doesn't matter if you're brand spanking new or if you've been blogging for 40 years, which I don't know how you would be, but maybe you were a journalist or whatever. Anyway, find somebody that's at your level and just start the communication.
Yep.
I mean, Crystal is my best friend online. Absolutely, positively. I've been to her house. She's coming to mine as soon as I can get moved in and things can get squared away. Our kids know each other and greet each other by name when they see each other on the internet. Our husbands know each other and greet each other by name when they see each other on the internet. They like each other's Facebook stuff. We are true friends.
We're invested in each other. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. And people need that. You need that person that and that has happened by way of our Hangouts, you guys meeting in Hangouts, by way of the Facebook group and people making friends there, by way of classmates that have taken our class becoming buddies, where they really spend time talking and nurturing with each other and just encouraging one another. And, well, have you thought about this? Or why don't we do a series where we work off each other? It is so important to have that person that you can go through this with, because they're going to see things a different way and share a perspective that you hadn't thought about. And they're going to understand the things that those non-bloggers in your life, that even though they support you no matter what, there's certain things they just don't get. I mean, my husband thinks that, I was telling Kelly this last night, I've told her this 100 times, but my husband's like, why don't you, buy some really inexpensive cookware and figure out a way to sell it on your site? That would be a great way. He's always trying to think of ways to create a product line. Why don't you have somebody create you a product line? I'm like, that's not what I want to do with my site. And so Kelly's like, yeah, she gets it. She understands that crazy aspect, and you can bounce that stuff off or whatever. It really is important. But seriously, figure out your goals, focus on your goals, and let's get this started for 2015. We are totally here to help you guys. We're invested in you. We want to see you grow, and we're here to help you do that. Any final things that you want to add, Kelly?
No. I mean, let's write them down. Start working towards them. Share it over on the forum.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Share them.
We only have slots left, and class starts Monday. So, are you ready to invest in your business this year?
Absolutely. That is very true. All right, guys. So yeah, let's anything else you want to talk about goals? We're over on the forum. You can reach us on Facebook too if you have questions, whatever. We are definitely here to help, but I want you guys working on goals. And later this month we have someone coming in. It's the last Tuesday of the month. She's one of our Facebook she follows our group, or she's a Facebook member of the Learn to Blog Facebook group. She works full-time outside of the home as a nurse, and she runs a successful blog full-time. So for those of you who do the 9 to 5 thing and run a blog. That is a hangout that we're hoping that she will have amazing things to share with managing time, managing a site. How does she get all of that done? That's something that Kelli and I, we do all of our things from home. So, we're busy, but we're busy at home. So it will be an interesting perspective that I'm excited to share with you guys, because I know there's a lot of you that work full-time and run a blog. So watch for that later on this month too. All right, that's it, guys. Hopefully we've kept this to as close as 30 minutes as possible, or as close to 30 minutes as possible. And go do something great on your blog. Let us know if you have questions. All right, bye.
Bye.